We start in Puerto Rico, where a Puerto Rican runner has finally achieved her goal of representing Puerto Rico in a world championship competition. Our Frances Felix had the chance to sit down with her and actually attended one of her training sessions to speak more about how she prepares and where she plans to go from here in her career.
Beverly Ramos, a veteran athlete from the Puerto Rican delegation, established a new national mark in the women's marathon, getting better year after year.
Beverly Ramos is close to turning 35 years old and with at about 25 in the sports career. She recently returned to the island from Oregon World Athletics Championship, in which she accomplished a new national record, clocking 2:31 minutes 10 seconds, improving by more than a minute and a half the previous record, which also belonged to her. She told us what this achievement means for her and the work she put on to get there.
Very happy for sure and excited. I've been working on that performance for the past 3 years. The standards are getting harder. Women are running faster around the world. So it's kind of me pushing myself to reach that next level.
Despite the ups and downs and the injuries during the past years, the runner remains motivated.
I always feel like when you're hurt and you're injured, is kind of your body saying you need a break. But the important thing is to do the rehab and try to do everything you can to come back stronger.
Family is one of her greatest motivation.
So I always feel I have these huge people behind me pushing me, and I can tell they love what I do. They love how I inspire them and motivate them to do the sport, and it's a blessing to have, that many people support you.
For her, it's important to help girls in the sport so they can fulfill their dreams.
I wish I had a lot more in me, I wish I had more money, and I wish I had more connections to bring, more support to the sport to Puerto Rico, but especially to girls, because we do have more participation of boys than girls. So every time I have a sponsor, I try to share a few ideas and see if, I can have them, get them involved and just do activities, bring maybe running shoes.
She reflected in what runners have collectively achieved and what this means for the island.
I feel like this decade and century is bringing more and more to talk about Puerto Ricans in the sport, but also in track and field. So I feel like, the team is growing, the team is having a better performance, but definitely we are having more support than before.
Watch out, you might see this rising star running through the town near you in Puerto Rico. Frances Felix reporting.
All right, thanks so much, Frances. In the meantime, a Puerto Rican artist, Bad Bunny, kicked off his concert series at the Coliseum of Puerto Rico on Thursday, with more shows set for both Friday and Saturday. According to Discover Puerto Rico, the concert series is also being streamed online in 13 different places. So if you aren't able to snag a ticket, you can watch it online, and to find a list of those sites where it's being streamed, you can find that at discoverpuertorico.com. Well, meantime, more than 3,600 Jamaicans have secured jobs in the cruise industry and during their recruitment exercise. Cruise companies had made a global call for new workers after losing almost 90,000 employees. Providing an update on the exercise in the House of Representatives, the Minister of Tourism, Edmund Bartlett, said over 3,600 Jamaicans have so far been selected. He said his ministry will ensure even more Jamaicans get in the job sector.
The process is continuing as the final selection is being carried through by the Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, and it is anticipated that we will have in excess of 5,000 Jamaicans employed when the process is over.
Well, the tourism minister said another drive will be held later on in the year between September and November to meet the target of 10,000 Jamaican workers. He argued that the recruitment drive comes at a time when the cruise sector, along with the tourism by extension, are showing signs of growth. And Bartlett said it is a telling indicator that Jamaican workers are viewed positively on the global stage. Well, While continuing our coverage in the tourism industry, an offer from JetBlue Airways to buy Spirit Airlines may be now back on the table, with Frontier being off the table. A merger of Spirit and Frontier was proposed back in February, but it never won the full support of Spirit shareholders. The merger of the low-cost carriers would have created the nation's fifth largest airline overnight. JetBlue has made an all-cash offer to $3.7 billion, significantly more than Frontier offered. And it's not clear yet how the Biden administration will respond to the proposal, since it is calling for more competition in the airline industry. JetBlue believes its acquisition could make it a national challenger to the four major airlines that now control 80% of U.S. air traffic. Well, meantime, Southwest Airlines is stepping up their game in terms of flexibility for customers. The carrier announced Thursday that flight credits will never expire. Under the previous policy, they expired in a year. Southwest says customers can get flight credits when they cancel reservations more than 10 minutes prior to their departure time. That goes along with the airline's policy to not charge change fees when customers reschedule flights within the same time frame. For now, flight credits will show expiration dates of 2040. That's while the airline updates its reservation software. Credits issued under the old policy retain their expiration dates. The new policy applies to credits issued from now on. Well, switching gears now to a bit of health news. Taking a nap during a relaxing afternoon obviously can feel great, especially on a rainy day, but it can also pose some health risks. Cole Higgins reports today on a new study that found frequent napping is linked to a higher risk of developing hypertension.
It's no secret that sleep is deeply connected to one's overall health, but a new study has found people who nap regularly have a greater chance of developing health risks. The study used data from 360,000 people and found that participants who typically napped during the day were 12% more likely to develop high blood pressure over time and were 24% more likely to have a stroke compared to people who never napped.
Why might napping be linked to stroke? And is it really a cause, or is it a symptom of something else?
Dr. Kristen Knudsen, an associate professor of neurology and preventive medicine at Northwestern University, says taking naps isn't harmful, but doing so often could be an indication of underlying health conditions.
If you are feeling really sleepy during the day a lot of the time, you should really talk to your doctor to try to understand why is it that you're not feeling rested after a night's sleep.
And to help get a restful night's sleep, Dr. Knudsen says try the following.
Keeping your bedroom dark, quiet, cool, not too hot, trying to keep a regular bedtime, avoiding caffeine in the afternoon, avoiding bright light, including not staring at your smartphones right before you go to bed. I wouldn't throw the nap out completely. There's a lot of cultures that nap as a part of their typical daily pattern. So we need to understand what kinds of nap and the reasons for nap before we panic and think all naps are bad.
Now, most of the people in this study who took regular naps smoked cigarettes, drank daily, snored, and had insomnia, and reported being an evening person. For more information, you can find the latest edition of the American Heart Association journal, Hypertension.